Welcome to HomeKit 5. I'm Josh.
I'm Brayden.
This week we're going to talk about Hue, Eve, and Akara. A little light on the actual news this week, but we do have one big story, so let's dive into it.
All right. So Philips, they have sent out a recall for certain models of outdoor light power supplies.
Yeah. So I guess if they get wet, then they pose a potential shock hazard. So be careful with that. You want to say which... It was the power pack that came in various things.
Yeah. The Lily spotlights, the Lily XL spotlights, the Kala pedestal lights, Iconic pedestal lights, Impress pedestal lights, and Kala large pedestal light.
Yeah. And then they have... if you click the link in the show notes, they do have, if you look at the, what is that, the model numbers? All products. Oh, okay. It's the weeks that they were, the model number includes like a week that it was created at the manufacturing plant. And so they have some digits that you can match up to the model numbers if you're not sure. But no matter what, if you're going to pick it up, make sure it's dry, right? You don't want to get shocked. So that's... I'm glad they're recalling it. I think this is the first time we've ever seen kind of a recall or a replacement program like this for HomeKit stuff that I remember, at least since we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
All right. So the big one this week is Eve dropped a firmware update for their light strip. And if you were lucky enough to have it, you can now use adaptive lighting in HomeKit, which is kind of cool. So people have been kind of playing around with it. And once you go into the Eve app and update the firmware, then you can go into HomeKit and you can turn on the adaptive lighting for the light. The nice thing is you get this nice, like, on the, I guess, the left-hand most button, you get this special looking icon in the color section, and that's the adaptive lighting color. So when you click that, it'll change the temperature throughout the day. Well, I guess they make the curve go up in their picture. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of excited for this.
Yeah.
I hope someone else comes out with it because we don't have any Eve strips. Maybe we'll order an Eve strip just so we can play around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems cool. And then also HomeKit Geek, Chris, he put out a video just today. Today is Sunday. We always record this on Sundays. And he put a video out that kind of walked through. He was able to record the actual like hue and saturation levels of the lights and the brightness levels. Interestingly, the brightness level doesn't change. But if you're interested in kind of how it functions under the covers, he's got some good breakdowns and graphs that you should go take a look at. We'll put a link to that video in the show notes as well. I thought it was pretty informative, so kind of cool.
Yeah. Akara, their G2H camera hub, is now out in Europe. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. So if you've been looking for the G2H camera, which also functions as a hub, which is kind of nice, we were talking to the car today, we might just pick one of these up instead of getting the security hub, because I think we're going to maybe go with Abode for the security system, because I like that it exposes a little bit more to HomeKit, and kind of want to try out maybe their new video doorbell thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would definitely check out the G2H camera, which can function as a hub for sure. And with that, that's kind of all the stories we had on HomeKit. Personally, I will say this will be our last time recording in this particular setup. I have been mocking up, and we have to like take out a wall and like then take out paneling and put in new drywall, and we're going to put in new power and networking ports all around the new office room that we'll be working in. So we're kind of hoping that we can get that done in 2 weeks. Maybe that's optimistic. I don't know. But we have a drywaller coming tomorrow to give us a quote. So hopefully he can be quick about it and we can quickly get the electrical and networking done. But that probably means that we'll take a 2-week hiatus, and then we'll come back and kind of have like a mega show. We'll try to pick the 5 most interesting news stories that kind of occurred while we were out. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see AirTags, right? Because we're still hearing whisperings of a November Apple event, and it'll include the whisperings are it's going to be about Apple silicone, but the hope is maybe we'll finally get those AirTags they keep talking about but never release. So, but yeah, so thank you for following us along on this journey in this office, and hopefully we'll get an even better setup. I do plan to get some new lights, and I think we've dialed in the mics at this point. So if you are watching on YouTube, things might continue to evolve there. And as always, if you're listening and you enjoy this show, be sure to go to Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. There were no new reviews this week, right? Mm-hmm. Come on, guys. Leave us some reviews, please. We would very much appreciate it. And then we also had a comment on YouTube, and we always appreciate that. I don't know if you...
I remember what they said.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It was from My HomeKit Home, and they said that they loved their VocaLink purifier.
Yeah.
Set it and forget it. That's what they said.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited. I think once we get into the new house, I'm probably going to order one of those things and give it a try. Yeah, I don't know. That was a great... I enjoyed that episode last week where we were kind of talking about the air purifiers and how crappy the one was that we were talking about. Anyway, thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed this, be sure to give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when these things do get published, be sure to hit that bell. And we'll see you in, I guess, 3 weeks. See ya.